probably I'm just trying to move it. This is a big topic here. Guess we can address it. It says, what is your vision for the future of Camden High?
Well, we have to be realistic. So the realistic part is that it's been voted on. So the only way we can take that back is by organizing our community in whole. The community in whole needs to come out and find a way to negotiate other options. I think that the Camden High situation is already done. It's already voted on. It's already a moving process. There's not much we can do on that. What we can do is try to avoid further situations from happening like that throughout our other schools. But that case, I think, is already done.
I don't feel like it's over until it's over.
Hold on, we get some quiet in the room, please. Give all candidates the respect, please. We appreciate it.
Okay. Okay. I completely disagree. I feel like it's very important to save Camden High. I read the feasibility studies that were done in 2012 and the more recent one, and there's not that much of a financial difference in saving it than doing a complete rebuild. I also don't believe that with the number of schools that they've got now in Camden, they need to put anything else there. Paymon has gone on record and said that there is no guarantee that anything will be built there once that school is taken down. I don't believe that there's necessarily going to be anything put there, guys. I really don't. And I think as such, it's unconscionable to take it down because I don't trust them to put anything else there. They don't need to because they've set up so many other schools around the city. Nobody has ever sat down long term and said, man, this is how many kids we have. This is how many schools we need. They just keep popping up. So for me, I think it's really important to do everything you can to save it. I don't think it's over. I've spent time talking to the historian that's applying for historical status for that building, and she's really getting somewhere with it. So I'm optimistic, and I'm going to keep fighting for that.
I currently sit on the project overview committee for the Camden High redevelopment. The reason why I chose to sit on that board, or that committee, was because, once again, they're going to do what they want if we don't have a voice. So I filled out the application and decided to sit on the committee because I wanted to make sure they were transparent, they were honest, and once again, because the money was allotted before, if we can recall, in 07 or 08, the money disappeared. Because the politicians that we elected, we did not hold them accountable. Our kids haven't been able to walk through that ramp without a coat in years. I was a police officer inside the school since '95, and the bathroom stopped working in the main building like 2000. Our kids deserve the right to have a quality place, to get a quality education, but we as the community should have a voice in what that should be. Now here's the thing, do I want Camden High? Hey, I'm an alumni of Camden High as well, but we need to step into the times. But we need to be part of the step. We don't need to keep pushing back. We need to make them do what we want them to do. They're elected officials. Again, we elect them. We got to hold them accountable. So we need to be a voice and be a part of the movement or the redevelopment of the school to make sure it stays a Camden Public School and it stays Camden High.
My stance on Camden High, I'm in Camden High a couple times. I worked with a lot of the young people there. I witnessed that there's a lot of things that need to be improved. In the main building, you have young people not able to use the restrooms there. So it's a lot that needs to take place. And the money that's there needs to be allocated to make those renovations. The people have spoken, the community has spoken. Majority of the people that I've talked to, that I've come across, wants to keep the castles. And there's research that has been made that says the castle can be preserved and renovations can be made on the other part of the building. So if that can happen, I'm for that. I'm for our schools having the state-of-the-art facility. Not only the facility, but as an educator, we can't forget what happens as far as our tools and our equipment and our books. We have young people who don't even have textbooks. So we can't forget that. When we advocate for our young people, we got to make sure that they have the state-of-the-art facility and also the state-of-the-art equipment and tools that they need to be successful. Thank you.
Basic question said, what is your vision for Camden High?
All right, so first and foremost, I would like to say that I went to Camden High, graduated in 2010. And the story of how I got to Camden High is that I got kicked out of Camden Charter School. And then my mother, she was like, okay, where I'm going to send my son? I said, okay. She went to Al Davis and said, look, my son has a problem. Can you take him? Mr. Al Davis said, yeah, bring him here. I had a teacher that advocated for me because my whole life I had F's and D's on my report card. And he said, look, I don't want this child in my class. Put him in all AP classes. That was the first year I had all A's and B's. So I guess my premise or my stance here is that when the charter schools and all these Renaissance schools, when they don't want our children, where are they going to go? So I guess that's my stance on Camden. I'm not against charter schools, you know, because they send our children to college for some time. You know, but my stance on Camden High is that it is there, and it needs to be there because when the charter schools don't want our children, where are they going to go? And secondly, it does need to be broken up into smaller learning communities. You know, we're no longer in industrial age education, so we don't need 30 children in our classrooms. The school district just approved over $200 billion budget in February so that we can put that money back into those schools. They're getting $25,000 for special education students. They're enrolling our young men in special education. So we need some type of reform here. And then it's back to that model, that community school building model, because when they see you in the neighborhood and they see these nonprofits that work with these schools, we can make an impact and a difference in our public school for this year to come. Thank you.